interview with Lam Chris, model, humanitarian board advocate, actor, brand, and social media influencer. So far, so good. I'm sure you guys enjoyed watching and listening to what the man had to say. It was really intriguing. But hey, that part of the story is done. We're moving to the next chapter, which brings me to someone else in the studio who is an international gospel music artist.
Another fine man.
Yes, don't mind that. She's not distracting me from my work this morning. Anyway, that's, you see, when you have women, you can't do without women. And when they are here, it's while you'll be crossing up and down, but God will help us. Now, this man decided to grace us with his presence because he knows his angle, he knows exactly what he's doing. I don't want to give too much information, that would be divulging too much. But he had to, it took a lot for him to be on the show.
Yes,
anyway, we have this very fine man in the studio. Help us welcome with Jesus' joy in our hearts, Kayode Ajokenu.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Welcome. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing fine.
Yes. Hey, you look like my dad's color anyway.
Oh,
color. This is my daddy's color.
Mr. Idolo, we are so sorry.
Actually, Professor Idolo.
Yes. Anyway, let me tell you briefly about whom he is. Kayode has been set apart, obviously, to speak to generations through his music. Through his commission, he has impacted many lives and witnessed the dramatic transformation of countless individuals. He was the director of music, praise and worship leader, and youth leader at the Fresh Anointed International Church in Queens, New York for more than 10 years, and recently embarked on a new journey at the End Time Rescue International Church. Now, his first worship album, Arise Holy Spirit, debuted early in 2007 with much success, and the second album, I Will Worship, was recorded live in New York City on August 14th, 2010 and released summer of 2010 as well. In 2013, he released the new album African Praise, and taking a sabbatical from recording under God's instruction, Kayode recorded his fourth album titled Big God, Great King in September 2019. Moving on, he received the Star Gospel Award in November 2011 and 2012. He received the CMA Artist of the Year. He performed at the world famous Apollo Theater in September of 2012 and was awarded the African Gospel Music Group of the Year at the CANGAX Awards, at CANGAX Awards in Accra, Ghana in November of 2010. In 2015, he received the Total Fixture Award for Gospel Recording Artist. And he also received the Shabbat Music Awards for Contemporary Gospel Artist. In June 2023, Kayode received Special Event CD of the Year and Praise and Worship Male Vocalist of the Year, the Rhythm of Gospel Awards. Now, his gift for music and worship was confirmed in a vision during the first 10 years of his life in Ibadan, Nigeria. As a young lad, Kayode saw himself worshiping God in a great company of people. From then onward, the desire, aptitude, and devotion to worship music became part of his everyday life. He led and directed several church choirs, including those at the Deeper Life Bible Church and University Christian Fellowship. Welcome again to Kayode. Now, we're saying this was we have a Kayode in this.
Yes, in fact, I wanted to say that this is what we are saying, Kayode. I hope the Kayode behind the camera will not think we're talking to you. Please be calming down.
It's this one.
Calm down. It's this one. Wow. And you know, he was actually supposed to be with us last year, remember?
Yeah.
So that's the. Oh, thanks for coming. For making our time. It's really beautiful.
All right, she'll ask you questions.
Yes.
Say ladies first.
After men, actually.
Nice.
So the thing, you have a very beautiful profile here.
Yes.
And you said God instructed you. It was a divine instruction that you should go into the music ministry. Yeah. Good. So, how do we differentiate someone who is actually led by the Holy Spirit and someone who just feel, let me just do gospel?
Well, I mean, so one thing I always say, tell people is, when you get closer to God, you receive instruction from God. And as a matter of fact, when you get closer to God, you find who you are.
Yes.
Because He's the one that created you. He knows the reason why He created you. And oftentimes, many people do, things, and they think, okay, this is the right way, but God, that's not what God created you for. And so what you will find out is you don't have joy. You're not happy. You might make a lot of money,
Even as a gospel artist?
Even as a gospel artist. Wow. You know, if God doesn't call you to it and you just decide, okay, I want to do it because everybody's making money right now, everybody's doing gospel right now, gospel is easy, you know, it's so hard to break out in the secular, you know, music industry, let me just do gospel, you're not going to be happy. So, and for me, you know, because when I went to college for electrical engineering. And while I remember that, you know, because we had a fellowship, InterVarsity Christian Fellowship that you read, and I was part of it. And one day we went out on a retreat and we were praying and we were praying, you know, because I got saved here before I went to the States.
Okay.
And when I got saved because they told me Jesus is coming tomorrow. I said, I don't want to miss heaven. So I must get saved now. So I got saved today. So, but, you know, my heart was not fully for God. So I was kind of like one of those people on the fence. You know, so you are not all the way in, you are not all the way out. So you are just like in the middle. So when we were worshiping and we were, you know, giving God praise, and the administration was so powerful, and I heard God say, "Come to my side. Why are you on the fence?" You know, so I told God, I said, you know what, I will give my whole heart to you. And so when I did that, I began to pray, I began to, you know, read the Bible, I began to seek God more, you know, and God began to speak to me and said, no, this is the reason actually why I created it, to be a worshiper, you know, to be, you know, a gospel artist and stuff like that. So I was like, wow, you know, so I switched my major. Around that time, it was like, you know, 1996.
Okay.
Yeah, it was not very popular then. Everybody's not doing music like now. People are doing music like, no. Back then, when you tell an African parent, oh, I want to be a musician, it's like, are you crazy? You are not the doctor, you are not the lawyer, you are not the, what is the other one? Engineer. I said, what are you doing? You know, you want to put me to shame?
Yeah.
So I said, So I told my pastor, I said, okay, this is what God is saying. He said, well, if God said it, He's going to make everything fine, you know, with your parents. So when I went to college, so I said, okay, let me choose audio engineer. So because audio, we still have engineer in the back. So if I tell my mommy, I'm an audio engineer, so mommy was like, what do they do? I said, well, they work with sound, but the engineer part, you know. So I went into that. I'm glad I did, because, you know, it helped me to be able to, you know, make my albums and, you know, flawlessly and stuff like that. And so that, and that's what God did for me. So He spoke to me and He said, and He began to confirm some stuff in my life. You know, that's the reason why I needed Kayode. Bring joy. I said, oh, okay. So He began to tell me, you know, because my Bible name, you know, is David. That's why you're called David. I said, okay, all right, that makes sense. You know, and when I was little, I had it's like a vision. I saw myself just, you know, leading a lot of people in worship, you know, and God began to bring that back to my memory and stuff like that. I was like, wow, okay. So now I went from a D student in engineering to an A student in music.
Wow.
So everything changed, you know.
That's beautiful.
Yes, you said everything changed. Now everything changes for a reason, especially when it's the right time. Now moving on to family, it's not easy to be any kind of artist and be married.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sure you have a beautiful wife and kids. If you ask me, that's what I was saying. So I'll ask you, how do you juggle? Now, let me tell you, a lot of people, pastors, choristers, they've lost their calling, the purpose of why they started this in the first place, because they got married to the wrong person, or it was the right person, but they were not able to manage themselves. So the question is, how are you able to manage the home front and still maintain balance in place of God, worship, and the church? So
one of the things I always tell people is this: marriage makes you or break you. If you marry the wrong person, it's going to break you. If you marry the right person, it's going to make you. My wife, I remember the first day I saw my wife, she was walking down the stairs, and the thoughts come to my mind, it's like, that's your wife. I said, I don't know this girl. Right? So years later, I remember we just came back from Revival, and I got to the studio, I'm going to do some work, and I prayed, Lord, I'm about to do work. I just said, Deborah is your wife. And I was like, okay. You know, I said, well, how can it be? You know, people in the church said, you know, this other girl, you know. it fits me.
Yeah.
Because we both sing now. So this one, you people, they are matching us. But God said, no, this one is the one. Wow. Now my wife, at that time was in a relationship, but she had dreams. Like the person that she's in a relationship with, she like this, standing next to each other.
Wow.
And I will come and take his place. Not once, not twice, And so God put us together, But the thing now is, like with the music industry, I've been able to accomplish some stuff because of my wife. When you have the right woman by your side, I have people that are more gifted than me, have more money than me. They can't even sniff what I've done because they don't have the right person by their side. So one thing I always tell people is this: cherish your helper. If you don't cherish your helper, the devil will come and scatter you. And so, I'm not the best of men because I still have a lot of growing to do. But one thing is, like, I'm faithful to my wife, and I can spend thousands on my wife because she means so much to me. So when I every time it's like, oh, I want to thank God and I want to thank my wife. It's like, why are you always thanking your wife? I said, because she gave me peace. If your wife doesn't give you peace, you cannot. It does not matter how gifted you are, you cannot accomplish anything. Because now when you are out there going to minister, it's like she's in your head, like you're thinking about home. There's no peace, but she gives me peace. She allows me to do what I need to do. And when I remember the first time I told her, I said, God said we should do this album. I said, if God said, I'm behind you. So we sacrifice mortgage money. We sacrifice all kind of stuff to make projects. So when God gives you somebody like that, now you want to say, okay, I don't have time for you. No, you can't do that.
Yeah.
So you got to make sure, like, you cherish what God has given you. If you do that, things will work fine.
Yeah, that's good. So what are you currently working on? Any song, any album? What are you working on currently?
So right now, at 2022, like you read, we released Big God Breaking, which we recorded live before the COVID. And so that is out. But last week, I dropped a new single, which is titled You Go Do. All right, so while I was preparing to come to Nigeria, because I came to Nigeria actually to bury my father.
Oh, okay.
Thank you so much. But the fact that he's with the Lord, it gives us comfort.
Yeah.
So we are happy that he knows Christ and stuff like that. So when as I was preparing to come, I was in the studio just listening to some stuff, and a track that I did a while back for one of my DJ friends, Afrobeat track, just popped up. So I was like, okay, all right. So this is a hard track, And usually when I write, I'm not a writer.
Okay.
Yeah, because I can't consider myself a writer, because everything I pen down, I hear. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I can't take God's credit.
Yeah.
So God kind of just downloaded my spirit.
Yeah.
So I just started hearing that lyrics. You are God, you know be man. Oh, you are God, you know be man. Everything you promised me, Lord, you go do. Healing in my body, you go do. Breakthrough over my life, you go do, Lord. So I was like, okay. So I began to write. I was like, okay, all right, let me put this together. So I put that single together in like 2 weeks.
Okay. So it's coming out any moment soon?
It came out on Tuesday, this past Tuesday.
Oh, so that's very
released.
fresh, yes.
It's freshly
baked
From the oven.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. So how can people stream that song right now?
You can go on every digital platform,
Okay.
Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, whatever, Boomplay is right there. Just type, Kayode Ajokenu, you go do, and it will pop up.
Wow, that's beautiful.
All right, so far so good. Quick question as we round up. You have done so much in music.
Yeah, with so many awards.
Yes.
Yeah.
What are you doing presently to bring up the next generation of worshippers?
The next generation of worshipers, it's so funny because, in the States, a lot of people call me Bishop. I don't know why.
Okay.
And so one thing with me is this: if you like the live recording that I've done, one thing that you always see is I always have guest artists, and God has given me a platform. So, And when I see somebody that, has a calling upon their life, or, they have the same gift, I bring them on, come sing on my album.
I think I have a calling.
Yes.
For what?
For singing.
For singing. Okay. No problem. We do audition now. So you have to audition for it.
You should not be singing.
Oh my God! That's because you've not heard me sing. When I sing, oh my God!
People run away.
Orally. Oh, let me hold it together. Let me hold it together.
Yeah, so I always do that, and one of the things that I love to do is encourage young artists that are coming up, and just tell them the ins and the outs, the times where you feel discouraged, the times when you want to give up. If God calls you, don't give up, just keep pushing. And also making sure you have the right heart, because if you're chasing money with this industry, when there is no money, you just you give up. But because one thing I always tell people is like, find who you are, find what you are passionate about. Passion will help you when there is trouble around.
Yeah.
It keeps you moving, right? When you don't see the money, you don't see the support and stuff like that, because we've been through it, and as a matter of fact, you've even been through the place where you have bring people up and you see them doing even well. It's like, God, what is going on? But one thing I had this resolve in my heart. I said, God, as long as I'm pleasing you, that's the only thing that matters.
Sure.
Because if you make it about the money, then you're gonna get bitter. And you say, okay, why is this not happening, and why this not happening? God, where are you, and stuff like that. But God has a call, and everybody has a time. When it's your time, nobody can keep you.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. To our compulsory question, which, like I said before, now we always ask our guests this question. You go for shows, you are in the studio, you're with family, you're writing, you're singing. Of course, we're doing all this for God, but it's not God that is going to come and take care of the pains or anything that has to do with your body. You have, of course, God is the one who protects, but you have the sole responsibility of going to the hospital when it is necessary. You have the sole responsibility of eating right, doing the right thing. Yes, you want to work, you want to do something, but how do you take care of your health? What do you eat? Yes, those things are very, very important.
What do I eat? Well, I'll say this. I always, and even if I don't want to, my wife will make sure I get a checkup. So every year you do a checkup. It's necessary. And I have a high tolerance for pain, like very high. Stuff that some people will be screaming and rolling on the floor for, I can endure it. But my wife is like, no, there's no reason for you to be going through all this pain.
Yeah.
Right? Go for checkup. And so one of the things you always tell me too is like, stay away from sugar. I'm a sweet tooth. Everything's sweet.
Please, please.
It's sweet in my mouth. So everything's sweet. But because when we first got married, like 19 years ago, she told me, she said, no soda in this house. I said, eh? So now, so I'll be watching it. Once in a while I sneak it in, but but I've tried like to stay away from sugar.
Okay.
I'm still I'm work in progress. I'm battling. I need deliverance. So that one is serious. Me and sugar, we are best friends. Even to the point my wife was like, you have turned your kids just to be like you. That's it. But I really do try, to stay away from sugar. I've been in Nigeria for like 2 weeks, and I've only drank like 2 bottles of Fanta. Everything is water. So I'm trying to do that, and fast food, staying away from that, and just eat home cooked meal and stuff like that.
Good.
And once in a while we do fasting, like a Daniel fast, that kind of cleanse the body. So no processed meat, no processed sugar, no anything processed. We don't eat. So we just like everything that is grown from the ground. Eat, and it cleanse you out.
All right, that's good. Quickly, as we round up the show, for Kayode's fans, I want to know, Kayode Ajokenu's fans, they want more gospel music, they want to know where to download, stream, everything. You'd also tell us, give them 1 minute words of advice, motivation, and then your social media handles.
All right, so like the newly released song, it said "You Go Do," right? So you go do. All right. The Bible says that God is not a man that he should lie, neither a son of man that he should repent. As he said it, shall he not do it? As he spoken it, shall he not make it good? Now, whatever you are going through, if God has given you a word of prophecy, that okay, he's going to do this in your life, I want you to hold on to God's hand. Don't give up, no matter how terrible your surrounding is. You know, people are saying Nigeria is so bad. With how bad Nigeria is, there's some people that are prospering.
Yeah.
Right? So just hold on to God. You know, like they prophesied my son 14 years ago. Right? It took 14 years for him to come. You understand what I'm saying? So hold on to God's hand and believe in him. Don't give up. As a matter of fact, you know, one of the testimonies, our daughters, they were praying, I want a baby brother, you know, and when COVID hits, and we were like, they told us, like, you know what, you people, you are not serious. We don't even want the baby brother anymore. And the next week, we got pregnant.
Oh.
All right? So don't ever abandon your prayer. Continue to pray. Even for this land, everything will get better. So that's what I have to tell you. And so you can reach me at Kakojenu. So that's Ajokenu.
Okay.
All right? On Facebook, Instagram, X, and on YouTube is Kayode Music TV. Kayode Music TV. All right? And you can also visit my website, kayodemusic.com.
Wow.
All right, that much we can take on the show today. I'm sure you guys have enjoyed yourself. On WhatsApp, we give you the best, trust me when I tell you.
Yeah.
From very accomplished model to one of the best, if not the best, international gospel artist, applying his trade and his craft outside the shores of the country, but always keeping in touch with the motherland. Today, together, they've been able to create so much fun, excitement. That's all we have to bring to the fore today. Now we're going to say goodbye.
Yeah, a very big thank you to you, Craze, for coming on the show, and a very big thank you to you, Mr. Kayode, for coming. We hope that when we call on you next time, you'll be here. If you're not coming, we can't drag you anyways. My name is Omevi Dollar across all social media platforms. Omevi is OMEVI, Dollar is IDOLOR. You know what we always say, we love you, but you should love yourself more. See you tomorrow.
All right, it's been an entertaining show, especially with the Bishop. Now, something I like about the man, he believes, or he started his musical career when he was in the States, in Queens, New York. My mom lived there for a while, but now she's in Euroshop. So when I heard New York, I was like, there's obviously connection. But the thing is, when you're good, you're good. And he always shows in every step of your life. This man has lived his life believing God for his word. And it's always come to pass, it's always come through. The Bishop Kayode has been here with us. We've enjoyed ourselves. I'm sure the other Kayode in the studio is smiling as things out. But hey, when God has said something, he will do it. Drink water, mind the business that concerns you. Do not ever turn off someone else's light bulb because you want yours to shine the brightest. Every day above 6 feet is a good day. Special belated birthday to Debbie. We call her Joy. She's absolutely a darling. She's a very beautiful soul. So Debbie Joy, some of you know actually I call her Debbie Holmes. Happy birthday to you on behalf of WhatsApp and Galaxy Television. I want to tell you we love you from the bottom of
I love your pieces.
All right, take care of yourself. Smile because it tends to hurt a lot of people. Always show love to people even if they're not deserving of it. See you same time tomorrow, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Of course, it's Monday to Friday. WhatsApp is on Galaxy Television and that's all you have to watch. The next show coming up is Women's Corner and it's by Blossom. Take chilled, peeled water and enjoy yourself.